In this episode of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, COVID-19 is sweeping the globe while I'm at home discussing other important matters like dirt bikes. We get into what KTM means, where KTM tiers come from, the usual suspension and chassis tuning questions. But this show wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Rekluse. Rekluse is the maker of high-performance auto clutches and a lot more drivetrain components, like the Radius CX, the Radius X, the Core EXP, the Core Manual, and the Torque Drive Manual clutch. All good things for your dirt bike. You can find out more and even order direct at www.rekluse.com. That's REKLUSE. Now, enjoy the show. From Pahrump, this is Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. This is the show where, what do we talk about, Logan?
Dirt bikes.
And?
Dirt bike related questions.
And products.
Yeah.
Questions about those.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, this is Logan Tyler. He's my co-host. I like Logan because he doesn't say much, but he's getting better. He doesn't really complain when I talk about myself all the time. And this show, we try to help you solve your motorcycle mysteries, your dirt bike questions, things like that. My name is Jimmy Lewis. I am a washed-up ex-motorcycle racer. Used to be the editor of Dirt Rider magazine back when people read magazines, and raced a little bit in my past. So I have a couple of opinions, and I generally try to break things down into their most simplest form to try to help you understand what's going wrong with your motorcycles or problems or things like that. Do I do that pretty well, Logan?
Yeah.
Yep. You know what your other job is, right?
Yeah.
Yep. What's your rant tonight? What are you going to complain about?
I don't really find stuff to complain about.
That's good, because you're unlike most people. All they do is complain. A lot of people like to complain about everything. And currently, if you're listening to this in the future, or you're an alien that's come down to this planet to see the aftermath of whatever virus we're going through right now, we're in the middle of the what's this one called now? The coronavirus, right?
Yeah.
Coronavirus 19.
19. Okay, so we're that's what's going on here. So evidently the world is changing. We're out of toilet paper, and although riding seems like the perfect remedy for this situation, now they realize that we're having too much fun, and they say don't go riding, because if you have to go to the hospital, you'll plug up the hospital. And it's like, man, I thought we were good clients of the hospital, but now there's a lot of people in there that have coughs and sniffles and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, that's where we're at. It's kind of strange times here. But I said I was going to do Tech Talk Taco Tuesday if I had to do it from isolation. But Logan joined me. See, we're doing best practices. We're keeping a safe distance here. Even though he has all those big hearts on it, I'm not going to hug him. We're not even going to fist bump. We're no physical contact. We're staying really far apart. We had made some special arrangements for our tacos to make sure that those, where there was no food sharing, all the stuff that we really don't care about. We want to know about how to fix your dirt bike and dirt bike related problems. So I'm going to go straight to the questions that I pulled off of our YouTube videos. We have old Tech Talk episodes that are up there. You can watch those. But you know that we got them up on the SoundCloud and iTunes and stuff, right, Logan?
No.
You don't subscribe.
I didn't know they were up there yet.
Oh, well, they're getting there. There's like the first, like somewhere between like 1 and 27, or like those ones got up there, but we're actually editing them. And we just started going backwards from 50, and Gabe is working feverishly on getting those up. We got 50 and 49 up, right? Yeah. So And so those will start coming through if you subscribe to us on those podcast feeds. That way you don't have to. We had a lot of people telling us that it's hard to. They like to listen to this, but it's hard to do it through YouTube. So we're making an effort on that side. But that wouldn't be possible without a few of the people that help us out. So a couple of the companies are Taco Moto. I have a haunting suspicion that's where these T-shirts may have come from. I am not sure. I'm not sure where. I don't even know where to get them. But I don't even know what KTM tiers are. I don't have KTM tiers, so I don't know how you. Do you love KTM tiers, Logan?
I don't know what they are.
You don't know what they are, but you're wearing the shirt because I gave it to you.
Yeah.
Because they sent them to me. So Tacomoto.co on the webs. Taco Mike has been in on the show a couple times. He can help you with some of your KTM tuning needs. He has some pretty good information over there. Pretty straightforward guy. So if you're curious about tuning, especially your EXC or Husky FE, the emission compliant bikes, he has some pretty good information over there. And another helper is DDC. This is Delaney Drive Components, and I'm holding up the nice Swiss cheese-like stainless steel sprocket. Was there a bug inside the thing? No. We're not. No. Yeah, we gotta check that one out. Yeah, DDC sprockets, Delaney Drive Components. That's ddcracing.net. If you need a sprocket and you want to have one that will pretty much last longer than anything else that I found, DDC is the way to go. I use them on my bikes, on my rental bikes, and really good sprockets. Plus, they really support the sport. And then, of course, Climb helps us out. They've helped Dirt Bike Test out from the beginning. Climb gear is... Hey, Gabe, that logo popped up on the back. That's okay. It's on the slideshow?
Yeah.
It was on the other slideshow. Oh, yeah. Got it. Climb makes really good gear. And if you don't wear Climb gear, then you don't have the best stuff, I don't think. I got Climb gear right here. I'm going to grab this thing. I'm holding up. This is it's called a Power Cross pullover. You can hear it. You can hear it if you're listening to this podcast. But it's essentially a snow piece. Hold that thing up, Logan. Here, don't make me do three things at once because I'm going to drink tequila right now. Ooh, that was my Valentine's Day present or something like that, or whatever. So that is called a Power Cross pullover, and I'm going to do a Dirt Bike Test product podcast on this piece because it would take me too long to write about it. And I got it because I need something that's like it's almost like, one of those packable jackets, but a little bit more robust. And this was the answer. And it's probably my favorite piece of equipment I've had lately because it's super versatile. And it's durable, which is kind of strange for a waterproof shell. And it has pockets in the right places. And it has a hoodie in case it's raining for when you're done riding, and you can use it for more than just riding. So a very good, versatile piece of equipment. And Climb makes lots of that kind of stuff. So check those guys out. If Climb.com, pretty easy. And look at their mid layers and stuff like that if you're really trying to stay comfortable when you're riding. I used to be one of those. Logan, do you wear like any special like underlayers, like other than your outer gear? Do you wear like compression pants or
Sometimes just a shirt.
just a shirt, like a t-shirt?
Yeah.
Cotton.
I don't really care.
You don't care?
No.
Because you're a kid. And I'm not a kid anymore. And actually, it's kind of funny because I'm always asking these kids, Gabe included around here, I'm like, how come you're not wearing a jacket? It's like freezing outside. Or it's hot and they're wearing a jacket, or it's all wrong. It's like, hey, we're going to go riding. And you know what? When do we get back when we go riding, Logan?
Late. Sundown.
After sundown, usually.
Yeah.
And what happens when the sun goes down? We're back. Okay. Yeah, the internet just broke. So we're working. I think the sound is back. Thanks for sticking around. This is the second segment of this. So I forgot where we were at because I had to correct that problem. So where are we at? What questions did we miss on the last show? You were reading them. I saw you. No, not that show. Like on the, now we're on our second one of these.
There was not many.
There wasn't that many. Nobody wants to know anything.
Well, there was one guy that said about Chris Real or Real.
Chris Real, yeah.
Okay. He talked about how you put the wrong oil in, and then he said a couple of comments later, Logan's fault.
Oh wait, who put the wrong oil in what?
Bike.
Which bike?
I don't know.
If it's your fault, you should know. What'd you do? I don't remember. I don't. What do we talk about putting the wrong oil in the wrong bike? I can't remember that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. So
It's gone.
it's gone. Oh, he erased the comment. He's chicken.
No.
So I'm not really sure that. Martin wants to know who is my sidekick. Logan, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Logan Tyler, and
What do you ride?
YZ85, and I ride a YZ85 and a SX 125.
And
YZ250.
yeah, that's the one I see you on most. Or is that your dad's bike?
That's right.
So before the show we were talking about the YZ250, right?
Yeah.
And it has the awesome Wi-Fi mapping.
Yes.
And your dad said something pretty interesting.
So on his last phone, he put the map in on the 450 that he really liked.
Oh, so you have a YZ450 also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a Yamaha guy. So it's YZ, not FX. Or
Just the YZF.
straight YZF.
Motocross model.
Okay. Because all you do is ride tracks.
No, I ride the desert.
You just ride the. So why wouldn't you get the FX?
I like 19-inch wheels.
Okay, I like 19-inch wheels.
I do.
Oh,
They feel better than 18s, and I don't really get flats.
Got it. Wait.
I know.
Hold
I
on.
know.
Yeah, there was
It
something
was a
about.
front flat.
It was
so-
a front flat. Yeah. Okay.
But
Just check. I'm just asking
I don't
for
know why
my
I
own.
like them better, but I do.
Okay. Yeah, you're totally allowed to like them better. So
Yeah.
okay, so YZ450.
Yeah. And he really liked the map that he put into it. And he was like, Jimmy, how do you get it out? How do you find that map again?
And so what did I say?
Hit the reload or...
No, I said ask a 9-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
So ask somebody who's technically savvy. Yeah. So I told him to ask you basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what did he say about his phone?
So he was ready. So there's some like photos of me and my sister, and he was like,
Yeah, precious
Yeah.
precious memories
Precious
in the
photos.
phone.
and he wanted that map more than the photos.
Yeah. Dad of the year. Dad of the year. Yeah, he wanted to know how. But so if this does happen to you, if you lose your phone and you have your favorite Yamaha map in your Yamaha, you can with your new phone reconnect to your Yamaha and suck that map back out and put it back into your phone. I was having the habit, well, mostly because people were asking me about them. I was emailing my maps to myself, through that app. You can, I was sharing them. I was texting them to myself or emailing them to myself so I could remember. And that helped, that just helped me keep track of them. So I had them in second place in case, my phone does something funny. But yeah, good job. And nice that nice that your flat tire wasn't too much of an issue. At least it wasn't the back one. Then I'd really get on you because so this is one of the things that I've always kind of been perplexed by is like
guys that mostly ride off road buying motocross bikes, and I just don't get it, because for me, the off road bikes really do work so much better at doing off road things. But the one way I can see it is if you don't want, if you're sitting there looking at all these bikes, you go to a Honda dealership or a KTM dealership and you see this wide range Husky. They have a wide range of bikes, and you're going, which one's for me? And I know people that look and they see a headlight and they're like, oh, enduro bike, dual sport bike. Oh no, that's not for me. I mean, like the guys I watch on TV don't have those. They're racing around tracks, so there's a little bit of that. And then and then I go trail riding with some of these guys, and we'll get in something tight and technical, and you just watch their radiators are steaming over, and they're frying clutches, and they get flat tires, and they complain about getting tired all the time, and their bike's jarring, and it's like, hey, what do you do to your suspension? I'm like, oh no, I don't ride that one. I ride the one that came with the headlight. And they're like, why? And it's cool, because it was set up for doing what we're doing. Your first gear is too tall, and if we hop down a road, your fifth or sixth gear, maybe you don't get a sixth gear.
No, I don't.
You don't in a Yamaha period, you don't get a sixth gear, which Yamaha has a good 5-speed in their WR and their FX, but you still don't have a sixth gear. And it's funny to so I'm cruising down the road. I mean, literally cruising down the road at 65, and guy on motocross bike is just just going a million. So I've always had my reasons for that, and I was just always curious. It's like they make a really good bike for that. But if you go to the track, I can understand where you're compromised. I know you guys every once in a while go to the track, and you go to the races at the motocross tracks, where the Grand Prix races, and do you get lots of takeoff 19 tires?
No,
Because that's the other thing is like motocross guys take their tires off really quick.
He does. I don't. I got a job. I get good tires. He gets takeoffs.
Oh, you cruise around the pits and pick up takeoffs?
Yes.
Are you 18 or 19?
He's 19.
19.
19. Okay. You got to know this stuff. You got to pick up on this stuff.
I recently got the new bike.
The new bike. Yeah. Got it. So yeah, because your 85 was what? What size is 85?
17.
17 rear.
Yes.
What was in the
19
front? Right, because yours is a big wheel.
Yes.
So, okay. So Mike Burnett asked, he said, did you use the JD Tuner baseline tune, or did you come up with settings on your own on the KTM 300 EXC or 300 XCW? That's the 2020. And if so, could you share those numbers? So, Mike, the tuner that I had was actually a 2019 tuner, because it was one of the first 2020s that came over, and I plugged that thing in, and it was really good with their base tune. And this is 19 to 20. It was good. And then I tuned it and tweaked it a little bit, and then I gave the bike back before they did the new update to the ECU. And so now there's a couple different maps. And every time the KTM changes their map, the JD Jetting Tuner, I would probably fiddle with it a little bit. So I don't necessarily know my numbers because the numbers that I had applied to a map that's no longer current. I don't know if that in the first tune the KTM had that they changed the tune. They just activated the ambient air pressure sensor that sits outside of that sits down by the oil bottle. They made that thing work more than just when you start the bike. That was the original correction they made. And then I know now they have a couple different tunes for the bike. I know on the 19 they have one that was called Sporty or something. That's what I rode in King of the Motos. Was a better, slightly. I don't know if it's better actually. It was the latest upgrade, and they put the Sporty one in there, and I played with the JD Jetting Tuner and changed it a little bit. I can tell you what those numbers are for that pipe, for that muffler, for the gas I was running. But the cool thing about it is it's nice to be able to start with the baseline. I know even with like the Yamaha power tuner, everybody's like, oh, hey, I want to know what this map is. And I saw you taking a picture of a map in that magazine.
Yes.
Yeah. For what was it for?
2020 YZ 450.
And you're going to plug it into your dad's bike?
No.
You're going to plug it in your 250?
No.
Where you're going to compare it to your dad's bike and see?
No, kind of more learn off of it.
Okay, good. Yeah, so that's and the cool thing about this stuff is so quickly you can go and change the settings. You can say, hey, I like this or I don't like this. And I know that there's at Yamaha they provide some maps, and then the media always gets access to some maps that their test riders and stuff, their development guys develop. Hey, if you want this, try this, or I have this, this map or that map, and there's certain guys, and you don't even have to tell me which one developed that map. I mean, I know a couple of them, and it's like there's one guy that makes maps that work for me, and there's one guy that makes maps that do not work for me, and I know which ones are which, just because it's a power delivery, it's a character, it doesn't make more power, it just changes, it just shifts stuff around, and one of them is just not how I ride. I don't like that, but that's what's so cool about it. You can ride two different ones and go, hey, I like this direction, kind of what you see.
Yeah.
Do you get to ride the 450?
No.
You're not big enough?
Yeah.
So anyways, but you get to try these different maps, and so even like with the JD tuner, or even with like the stuff that Taco Mike sells, the Get ignitions or their Vortex ignitions, like I've ridden guys' bikes that are they're stoked on their bike. They're so happy with it, and I ride it, and I'm like, how do you ride this pile of shit? And I mean, I shouldn't say it like that, but for me, that's what it is. It doesn't mean it's good or bad. It's good for them. They like it. So, tunability, flexibility. So I don't know the exact numbers. Maybe on some of the videos I talked about. Sometimes on the videos I'll talk about what I did. Maybe add fuel here or take away fuel here. But it's more of a guideline to give you an idea of where to go. Because if I were to also, which was popular on that bike, to change the power valve setting, KTM doesn't recommend it, but evidently I do, I would change the power valve setting a little bit. And for every time I changed the power valve, I would go back in and change a little bit setting on the tuner. Just like when you would switch pipes, you used to have to change jetting. It's very, very similar. So, Gabe, you should make a note about that. I talked extensively about tuning things and good and bad, because I won't remember that. You gonna remember that, Logan?
I don't know.
So, what did you learn from what I just said?
When you change a pipe, you most likely have to change your jetting.
Okay, and what about the tuners? One map fits all, right?
No.
No, yeah, no. Play with them. That's why they give them to you. Like, I mean, it's such an awesome tuning tool. That's frankly the one thing that has really elevated my love for Yamahas has been that tuning app. And then when I can plug similar kind of things onto other bikes, then I like them to the same level. When I'm restricted from being able to do that stuff, and yeah, I I spent a lot of time on the computer tuning my Husaberg 570, which, like, most time you're just tuning, you don't get more power. But in this thing, like, I gave it, like, I mean, a lot of. You know how much power that thing has, Logan?
No.
I heard you rode it.
It was during the circle drill, the turning drill.
Right, but it was like constantly trying to jump out of the circle, right? Like doing wheelies and stuff. Like you turn the throttle, all it wants to do is just do a wheelie, just like rip the tire off the thing. You're laughing because you know it's true. So, anyways, yeah, I spent a lot of time tuning that Husaberg. Actually, there was key in software that you could plug in. I have a plug-in thing that can go in there and talk to that ECU. It was before there was all these regulations and stuff. Okay. Thank God we still have sound. Jimmy, why don't you shut up? No, that's not really a comment. Somebody says, Jim Bagley, that was a really useful review. Solid on formation on the different components. I appreciate the content from your testing and knowledge compared to the endless video footage. Well done. And Jim is talking about, I believe, our Husky 510, 500, Husky 501, FE 501 video, full test on the YouTubes. So go there. And then he says, I would like to hear JL's thoughts on a comparison of the Honda 450L and this new 500s. Maybe a this or that write up on DVT. Great video with great info. Compared to a Honda 450L, you'd like to hear my thoughts. I'm like this. Can you hear my brain grinding?
Yes.
Yes, you can hear it. They
Yeah.
can. Yeah, it's what was that?
Crickets.
It's crickets. When like, hold on, let me add some fuel to my brain real quick here. Logan, did you ride you rode the Honda 450L when we had it here, right?
No.
You didn't ride that one.
No.
You got to grow a little bit, and then you get to ride all these bikes.
I've only ridden the 501 and the 250L or Rally.
Okay, so we shouldn't compare those two.
I don't know.
Yeah, so the Honda 450, man, they're both good bikes. They're just different. I mean, it's like, yeah, I get kind of trying to figure out how to tell some. It's like, do I have a favorite? Yes, I would pick the KTM or the Husky every day. For me personally, just that's it. But there's certain aspects of the Honda that fit a certain kind of rider. I think the Honda, it feels like it's built, and I'm not saying heavier in a bad way. It's built more durable and more, just the whole package just feels a little bit kind of tighter, although it's not a big difference. I mean, I would take either of those bikes and ride them pretty much forever, without worrying about, you don't have to change the oil every 3 hours and top end every 12 hours like the manual says. But I think they can both be made into awesome bikes, and it's just sort of what you're wanting to do. If I was going to do really long distances with luggage and stuff, then the Honda really starts kind of coming into play, because it just, the subframe is a little bit more robust, and some of the stuff that is kind of flimsy on the KTM is a little bit better built on the Honda. License plate brackets, lights, things like that. So lots of I don't know. I don't have to do. You want a shootout? Watch all those other long-winded videos with lots of riding stuff, and where the bikes go back and forth and back and forth. The ones that was shot in like 20 minutes, and then they tell you they did a full test. Watch those on the internet. Fire in the Hole says, great video. How much does the big guy weigh? He's talking about Scott. Trying to get an idea how my weight, 225, will relate to what he is saying about the suspension. The big guy, I believe, is punching in at least 230. I'm guessing there, but I'm just saying probably he's always been a big guy. And so I would say it'd be pretty similar to what he's saying to what you are saying. So hopefully, Fire in the Hole, that helps that out. And then one last question on this one. Rajakan Nadarajana. Nada Rajjan. I got it right. Says, TPI haters, give KTM some time to refine it and make it perfect before criticizing them. No, they actually, if it's not perfect, or pretty close to it, you can hate on them. I mean, that's the challenge of bringing stuff to the market. If you're gonna, if it's good that people kind of criticize these companies if they don't bring something that's ready. But I think the first TPI bike was pretty darn spot on. I don't know what people are criticizing him. It's generally a guy who has a carburetor and he's feeling inferior and he likes getting gas on his fingers. So we're going to go to the Facebook questions now that we're back here.
So Rodney Johnson asks,
Yep.
AKA Vid Moto here.
Right. He's been commenting on some of our stuff.
Midwest guy, but we love to ride Utah and Colorado. Want to start paying more attention to suspension. Currently, we just ride, have fun and ride. But listening to you and others has me wanting to start to understand suspension. What should I first start trying to understand? 54 years, 200 pounds, 1090R, Beta 500, Beta cross country trainer.
So
Ross.
he has, so Rodney, by the way, Rodney, thanks for commenting on the videos. I do recognize the name. So you have a wide variety of bikes that do a lot of different things. And so that's awesome because now you can feel how, if you ride them stock, you can feel how different those bikes work. And, you know, between the Beta 500 would probably be the most performance oriented bike that you have there. 1090R is a great adventure touring bike. I used to say that was on the more aggressive side, but now on the KTM 790 is way more aggressive than even the 1090. But the 1090 represents what I feel is a pretty close to perfect adventure bike setup in suspension. And then the cross trainer is a little softer, cushier, mushier. We'll kind of go say that's a little bit closer down to play bike. More like play bike. It's not competition oriented.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to figure out, like, you just got to ask yourself, like, which one of these characters do I like? And if you were like not this Jimmy but that Jimmy, and you had a motocross bike that you were riding around the desert and getting yourself beat up, no, right? It doesn't beat you up at all, does it? You don't know? Yeah, not if you have good suspension. What did yours modified?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I valved it.
Okay, so he's got his. Okay, that's a good step. Yeah, he modified the motocross spin. But anyways, so you have you at least have a feel for some different quote characters, and then you have to decide what do I like? What am I really trying to do with this? And you're just out. You kind of say you're out just trail riding and just out kind of having fun and riding. I think all those bikes will accomplish that task. It's funny because when you start going into, like, a little bit more competitive stuff, racing, then you're a little more worried about, like, kind of you're going to give up some bump compliance and some comfort for what we call safety, or bottoming resistance, and that's a tricky game, and there's all kinds of suspension tuners that can help give you that kind of setting, but play around with the clickers. When you find a bike you think it's good, go, I wonder what it's like if I made it 5, 7, 10 clicks stiffer on the compression, and just do one thing at a time. Just do the shock, and then hey, I kind of like that. Maybe, and then maybe match it with a compression on the forks. Play with the settings to see if something works. Character. You're all of a sudden you're changing the character of the bike, and it'll give you a direction. But always make sure before you do that your ride height, your sag is set properly. Make sure that you're running the proper tire pressure. Little things that can kind of throw that stuff off, that can do it. But just basically read your owner's manual, set the stuff the way it's supposed to be. Make sure everything's there, and then start playing with it and see if you get an idea. But there's not just like we were talking about the fuel tuning, there's not a magic one size fits all. You can buy this, this doohickey that you can put in a fork and it makes it automatically better. You kind of have to know what you're trying to do, and definitely, make sure you're riding on the right springs, the right spring rates, right, Logan?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to get small springs.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. How's that KTM 125 treating you?
Good.
You got small springs yet?
Yes.
Is it way better?
Yes.
How come you didn't go ride with me on Saturday?
We're working on bikes.
It was perfect. It was so perfect. Like the Sand Hill track, we rode it backwards. I've done it before, but like it was like being on a roller coaster. It was just like when a roller coaster, you're kind of hooked in the tracks and stuff. That's the way those ruts were going over those hills, the berms and the sand. and it was like being on the moon, like strange sensations of gravity. George is going to help Rodney out. It says sounds just like my experience. Started to pay attention to suspension after hanging out with Jimmy. I'm heavier and went up on the springs and fool with the clickers, and it made a world difference. I bet you Jimmy tells you to first set the sag for the manual. I think I did that, didn't I?
No.
I did. I said sag in there, that thing. I told him to just play with the clickers first, but I said, make sure ride height. I said check the ride height, sag. Yeah. Thanks, George. Yeah, helping us out. Copy that. We plan on the school. Yes. This podcast is brought to you by Jimmy Lewis Off-Road Training because it allows me to have this job where I can take an hour out of my. I pointed on the wrong side.
Yeah.
I pointed at the empty side of my brain.
No, the empty side of your hat.
The empty side of it doesn't matter. It's just like it's two brain cells and they float around inside there, and every once in a while they make contact. But that riding school allows me to be able to do this. So actually, we heard that we don't have to work for the next 30 days, right? Can't work. So does that mean I have to shut my school down?
I wouldn't.
Who knows, right?
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Okay. And San Felipe Bob says send it to ESP. Actually, I just got about 7 sets of suspension back from ESP that I took down there, mostly to just get serviced because they need it. But you know what I did have put in? Into one of the KTM forks. Racetech makes an adjustable base valve, so I can adjust the compression because it puts an adjuster inside of that compression stack. So basically, all I can do is make it softer than what it is. But we added some oil, and we're going to play around with that. And because I always feel that on KTM's, you can, when you make an adjustment with the WP clickers, you're adjusting more of the mid speed than you are the low speed. Like on a Yamaha or a Honda, when you make a clicker adjustment, it's definitely low speed. It's not. I mean, they all blend into like mid speed and things like that. But you getting all this, Logan? Sort of. Yeah. So mid speed is it's not what you feel like right away when the forks start moving, like the when you're hitting the bumps and stuff like that. It's more how the fork moves,
Yeah.
And then like
Right.
high speed, everybody thinks high speed. Well, some people so wrongly think high speed is like I was going fast and I got high speed. High speed, it refers to shock, or suspension stroke travel, and it's when it hits something and it makes it move really fast, very quickly. So it's a big load on basically on the oil trying to pass through the valves. All of a sudden, there's a lot of oil trying to pass through the valves, and then that activates the quote high speed, and there's an adjustment for that on and when that works. And for me, high speed affects more the ride height of the bike because I don't actually. I mean, you can turn it so far that you feel it because the suspension just goes to crap, or you can loosen it up so much it feels it. But it seems like it because I think when you stiffen it up, it holds it longer. So it actually holds the bike up higher in the stroke. It keeps the bike effectively up higher in the stroke. So it's like adjusting, like we talk about ride height. It's like adjusting your moving ride height. You say, hey, I like where it's at, but I want it to be a little bit higher, in the rear or lower in the rear. That's a high speed adjustment. So hopefully, Rodney, that answers your question, and I think that even kind of rolls back to the other question that we asked earlier. So Bob's upping his front spring rate. Bob, your bike is so old that it's sacked out a spring rate since you've had it. So yeah, you expect to be up on the bars and loosening your grip on the bars. Your bike's going to work way better with a new set of springs in it because springs are wear items. They do wear over time, and when you're riding, I don't know how old is that Yamaha he's riding. It's like probably as old as Logan. It could be that old. So I'm sure that'll help. But anyways, you have anything else, Logan?
I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah.
You don't have any other questions for me? So now your bike isn't like prepped and sitting waiting for a race. It was prepped and used, and now it's waiting for me to call you so we can go down to the sand track and spin some laps.
Yes.
Yes. And you know the other thing that we did today? You know, did you hear the other thing, the super top secret thing we did today? You're not making a noise, so that means no.
No.
Gabe, what did we do today?
Trench for water line.
Trench for a water line to the center of the flat track.
Oh, I saw something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
Inch,
what that was.
inch and a half out there with 4 spigots coming out each side. Lucky I got to Home Depot before they're not allowed to be open anymore to get all the parts, and hopefully I don't need anything to finish that job. But I mean, in flat track we usually don't get within like 6 feet of each other, do we? So,
you have to be masked up for flat track.
Yeah, who knows? Anyways, my computer just died. That's awesome. So I think that's a sign.
Yeah.
None of the computers behind me died. What's that? It tells me my printer's ready to. It tells me my printer's having troubleshooting issues. Wow. Hey, 31 people. Good. It's 10 more than we would get if George was in here. Logan, you're doing pretty good. Did you tweet it out today? Did you put it on the Instagrams?
No.
Okay. You don't have school though, right?
No.
So you should be promoting this show and working on a couple more. You should do a test on your sister's bike, the CRF 125F.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll get you some new handlebars if you do that.
I already did that.
Oh, you already did? Good ones?
Yeah. Pro taper.
Pro taper? I was going to suggest some flex bars.
Oh, yeah, it needs those.
Yeah. Yeah, because they don't bend. Not like those ones that were on it.
No.
Were they steel? They were steel
They were
handlebars,
steel.
right? Yeah.
They're old Honda bars.
Yeah.
You could.
It's kind of hard to believe they put. But, they still
Yeah.
put steel bars on their 150 yards.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I haven't seen a steel handlebar bike for like a long time. It's just kind of strange. And
They still put them on their race bike, 150 yards.
yeah, saw that.
Mm-hmm.
They still sell that one,
Yeah, they
the
still make
150R.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Computer's back up. Trying to think if there's any hardware stores will be open. Oh, Scott, thanks for letting me know that because since I can't go snowboarding and skiing, and that's why I was really not going to do these tech talks because I was going to take off for a couple weeks and go to the mountains and forget about motorcycles and think about my skis and stuff. But yeah, Home Depot's open. I'm in business. I can keep fixing the world around me. As we like to say. So hey, if you like this, share, tell a friend. Thanks to Climb, thanks to DDC, big thanks to TacoMoto.co, and Jimmy Lewis Off-Road Training. If you come to my class, I can give you a lipstick, or it's actually sunscreen for your lips, or lip balm, or whatever it's called.
Premium lip balm.
Premium lip moisturizer,
Yes.
used by none other than Ricky Brayback. I'll have you know. Yeah.
Probably why you won the Dakar.
Yeah. Who won that race called the Dakar Rally? You ever heard of it? Yeah. So awesome, guys. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you out on the trail. Cheers.
Hey, Logan, that was a pretty good show, huh?
Yeah, it was.
Did you learn anything?
Yeah.
What was that?
I need to get a Rekluse on all my bikes.
All your bikes?
Yeah.
Which one first?
Probably the YZ250F.
Why is that?
So I worry less about my clutch and worry more about my riding.
So we're going to see you in the expert class pretty soon, yeah?
Hopefully.
Right on. So if you need more information about Rekluse clutches, where do you go, Logan?
Go to www.rekluse.com. That is Rekluse spelled Rekluse. So for Jimmy Lewis, this is Logan Tyler, and we'll see you on the next show.